Let's kick it up. It's Mornings with Matt and Bob. We're powered by Chewy, and we're joined by one of our favorite guests. In fact, has been coming to see us for
30.
A very long time. And we're excited because it's that time of year again. A lot of people say, oh, October, that's a baseball playoff time, or that's fall, or that's whatever, but it is what it is, and we know what it is. It's Austin Film Festival time. Hi, Barbara Morgan.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it smells great in here. I want to say the hot dogs, big hit.
Thank you, Barbara.
I feel like you're somebody who would not turn up her nose at a hot dog.
Nope. No, it wouldn't turn up my nose. And I like sauerkraut.
Really? See, we got
mustard.
Bob to try sauerkraut for the first time in his life.
Not a
earlier.
sauerkraut person, but I don't even know what it is. Like
Cabbage.
what is
Just
it?
Cabbage.
Okay,
Pickled.
I don't.
I think it's
Fermented cabbage.
It's actually supposed to be really good for you.
Yeah, right. Because it's
fermented.
Right.
Like beer.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He won't try
I didn't
beer
hate
either,
it. I didn't
so.
hate it but I realized I'd gone my whole life. This was just like last year, and I had never had sauerkraut ever.
That's bizarre. Well,
No, it's not bizarre. There's a lot of food. There's still some foods on my list I haven't tried.
Wait, where were you raised?
I was raised like a wolf. I was raised overseas mostly,
But a wolf would eat sauerkraut.
but not Germany.
I think a wolf would eat anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so Awesome Film Festival. We've been doing this. A lot of our guests have been coming in for a long time because it's insane how many people that are listening to this show have moved here in the last 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And so we're re-upping all of our long-term guests and not making assumptions. What is the Austin Film Festival?
It is, movies. Definitely a lot of film. But also a conference that we do about writing and people breaking in, trying to be creators. And there's a huge competition that goes along with it, and film and scripts. And so we really try to put people into the system to become writers on TV shows. And we have a lot of people have become writers on TV and film or have careers. So it's kind of cool. And it's a lot of partying.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Good.
Well, and one of
That's how
the
you sell it.
one of the most incredible things about your festival, and you touched on it right there, is you started you were the only festival that was focused on the writer and good quality writing in making these awesome scripts because,
Starts on the page, right?
well, for a lot of people too, and people are still entertained by it. I'm not poo-pooing. I'm not too hip and too cool, but in America we like our movies with a lot of explosions and things blowing up, and they can be very visual. But those don't always rely on the most incredible scripts. They're just producible scripts. But you have done a good job of going out there and looking for these really good stories. And sometimes they're really small stories, but sometimes you've had huge blockbusters come through too. It's been all over the place, but you've consistently been delivering these great movies. How did you get the idea that you were going to start a film festival?
Well, I mean, it was 30 years ago, and this was a small town. So that was
Really
kind of the big
small,
one.
yeah.
Was you could do something by the seat of your pants.
An Austin Film Festival.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
Why
and,
would Austin have a film festival?
Exactly. And there wasn't one.
Right,
yeah.
So that seemed like a good idea, and there were a lot of writers here that we knew. It just kind of was a fluke. There were so many creatives in this town. And we knew people in radio, like you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was... and Matt, we showed your film.
Yep.
So,
The first time I ever went to the festival too is when I was working with MTV for that Austin Stories thing,
Yep.
and somebody invited us down, and it was really cool because we were introduced to Toby Hooper that year, and then Toby, who, if you don't know, is one of the masterminds behind Leatherface and the Chainsaw Massacre. and all that.
Yeah.
But Toby came down to set and hung out for a couple of days, and that was a blast to be around because he's crazy and fun.
Crazy. Yeah, he was pretty wacky.
And I've actually met a ton of really interesting artistic people over the years, working kind of alongside you guys. You were very nice. You had me host some events for you for a while. And so I'm very excited because I really do love this festival. And I also love, and I think one of the things that makes it unique is that sometimes, I never want to sound negative, but sometimes film folk can be a little prickly and touchy and artiste. But, and we were talking about you yesterday or maybe Wednesday. You're into martial arts, and you're into boxing, and you're into sports, and you're not your typical who you would think of when you think of, I don't know, cigarette holder, monocle, beret. I'm a filmmaker.
British accent, but you're not British, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're a very down to earth, rough and tumble. I'll kick your ass kind of chick.
I'll meet you in the alley and beat you up.
Who also says, I love movies and let's make some stuff, but it makes for a really good festival because I think you have a much more open mind than some places do.
Well, I do love movies where stuff blows up.
You do. Yeah. And none of us should be afraid of that.
No. In fact, we're doing a really cool thing with a guy who makes a lot of stuff blows up movie, Shane Black, who gave us Lethal Weapon and a lot of really nice guys, a lot of great movies. But we're going to do his Iron Man 3 that he wrote and directed, costume Iron Man 3 at the Paramount.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's gonna be awesome.
Come dressed as your favorite
Avenger?
Avenger. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Marvel character.
So
it's gonna be cool.
Every year you give us a couple of standouts that you think might appeal to our audience. What are some of the things that are playing this year that we should keep an eye out for at the festival? Because you can buy a pass to go to this, but there's also seats available at a lot of these movies where you can walk up, buy a ticket, go see that movie.
Yeah, we have a wacky movie opening night, Saltburn. The woman that wrote and directed it did Promising Young Woman. The movie is really, really fun, very unexpected. I think it'll kind of hit people upside the head. And another really great one that we're doing is our closing night movie called Day of the Fight. And thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk about the boxing movie that we're showing.
Yep.
So Jack Houston, part of the
Houston
John
family,
Houston lineage. He's
Angelica Houston, John Houston.
Yep. And he has made a really beautiful film about this guy's the day of his coming back into
boxing.
Boxing movies always fascinate me because there's been so many good ones, and every time a new one comes out, I go, how can they possibly do something new with a boxing movie? It's been done since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
The boxing movie, the comeback story. And everybody has their favorite. You got Rocky people. You got the
hero story.
It's the hero's tale. It is Joseph Campbell all over again. I mean, it is you overcoming an obstacle, and every single day when you get out of bed, you're like, am I going to win the day?
Right.
Am I going to overcome?
Every life is a boxing movie.
And most of the time, the personalities that are in boxing, it's somebody that's, either kind of from the street or somebody that's willing to get this tough, lifestyle that it requires.
So what's the rub on this one? That it takes place in 24 hours or something?
Yeah, it literally is him. He spent a little time in prison after he had some incident, and this is his getting back into the ring. He was a champion boxer, and now he's going to come back, and it's the whole from start to finish the day. Really, really beautiful concept, and it's just it's so acted beautifully, and it's got some great boxing scenes in it. And so it's just a really poignant film. I loved it. So we're excited to be showing that closing night. But then, do you guys love Warrior as much as I do?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got the guy who did Warrior and Miracle and a bunch of other great sports movies. And we're doing some stuff with him, Gavin O'Connor. He's coming in. But he's done, he did Smashing Machine. You remember that
Not
movie?
familiar with that.
Oh my God, it was an MMA documentary.
Really?
Yeah, you guys got to watch Smashing Machine.
Smashing Machine. Okay.
And anyway, we're doing stuff with him. He was one of my we got to get this guy in. You can't make a better boxing movie.
Is that
MMA
exciting when you have a target and you're like, I want this person at my festival? Do you have to? Is it sometimes a long catering process to get that person on board and to see you in the proper light, or after 30 years, is it easier to turn that key?
Yeah, it's definitely easier after 30 years, but it still sometimes with people takes time. They just also, because I think a lot of people don't really quite know what the festival's like, and they think it's just a regular film festival as opposed to a place that's everybody's kind of in the pool together. People consider us summer camp for writers, and that vibe sometimes is scary to people. Hollywood's a place that keeps you out, not brings you in.
I remember going to the festival one year. I went up to the bar to get a drink. This guy next to me orders a drink, and then he just starts chatting with me about. He said something about the bar or whatever, and I made a comment. He goes, "Oh, are you local? Are you from here?" And we just started chatting and having a regular conversation you would have at a bar. Now I immediately knew that the guy was Buck Henry. I saw the hat, and I'm talking to someone that I consider to be like really in the upper echelon of creating some of the art that I grew up around. I mean, so it's kind of exciting for me. But we had no discussion about movies, or we talked about Austin, and at that time was much smaller, and we talked about some other favorite smaller towns and how a college can affect a city's growth. That was the whole discussion. And then he was like, well, and then I said, well, I'm tangentially, I'm here with the festival too. And he goes, yeah. And then he said, all right, well, I got to head back to see some people. And it was this really nice conversation that I got to have with a guy who, if you think you don't know Buck Henry, you maybe don't recognize his name, go to the Wikipedia and go, oh, I absolutely know Buck Henry, and I know the fact that he created so much of the stuff that I'm into, or at least had some. And that's a big thing about your festival too, is that when you go to and hanging out in some of these places like the Driscoll, where people are just a lot of airs are lower, the pretensions are lower, and people are just kind of hanging out and chatting.
Well, and that's because writers are cool, though.
I think so.
I'm just going to say writers are cool. So
there's and I mean this as a compliment. There's a little less Hollywood on this film festival.
Yeah.
And I
Until
don't.
I get
say,
there.
I'd say.
You know what I'm saying? Until I hit the scene, then it's gonna go Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Because it ain't VIP without B.O.B. Barb. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I like all the little initials we've got here. Is that B.O.
Yeah. That's my name.
Awesome.
Don't wear it out. No.
But we did. So I'm going to throw to Hollywood. We have Paul Reiser coming with a film that he wrote. And he's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy, he's so easy to deal with. And we have Matt Walsh, funny Matt Walsh, Veep
Okay.
Matt Walsh.
Right.
Coming with a film he wrote called Not an Artist. So there's like The Problem with People and Not an Artist, two films. These guys are comedians you all know.
Sure.
You know, and they're coming with their films, and they're, they're going to be playing, I think, both of them at the State, right? Is that right? So that's a couple of nights I'm very excited by, because I love both those guys. So
That's awesome. I'm going to actually be there, and I'm going to do a Q&A on one of your films. It's a very tragic documentary about apartheid, I believe is what it is, right? Sweeta Blaze?
Yeah, I think the blaze actually more refers to lighting up.
I was kidding. It's actually a stoner comedy from South Africa. And
very funny stoner
very
comedy.
funny, I
Very
hear.
funny.
And it's going to be at 9 o'clock on, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And that'll be at the Galaxy. And I'd love for people to come out to that one as well. And we'll do a little Q&A with folks from the film. And
I'll be moderating inappropriately a tattoo movie.
Bob's word. He's like, I don't have any tattoos. How can I moderate this movie?
It's like my imposter syndrome started kicking in big time when you assigned me that movie.
We have a 30th anniversary
logo?
fake tattoo logo.
There you
Okay.
go.
So we'll get you that one. We'll put it on your arm
Okay.
before the.
All right. No,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I will also remind Bob, it's not the Austin Tattoo Festival. It's the Austin
No.
Film
What's the
Festival.
name of that film, that documentary?
Scabbed. Yeah, Scab
Scab.
Vendor. Weird
Scab
name.
Vendor.
Yeah, weird name, but it's fascinating. Like I had no idea until.
Well,
I
this
watched
is a
that movie.
tattoo city. It's
Yeah.
got to be one of the top tattoo cities in the
Has to be.
country.
Yeah, has to be.
After L.A.
And Bob, you don't have one hidden under there like your tramp stamp.
I'll show you
or
later.
something?
I'll show you later, Barb. She's pretending like she doesn't know. It's like a script.
It's only because I'm so old I've forgotten.
So how's the gym going? Have you gotten in the gym? Have you been doing any boxing
Are
or
you
fighting in the
kidding?
gym?
I have not been in the gym in a while.
Come on.
And when the last time I did judo, I came home and my daughter was much younger, and I had a black eye, and she freaked out.
Oh, no.
Really?
And then it was like, maybe you shouldn't do this anymore. So
Would she get uncomfortable walking places with you when you had a bruised face or a
Yeah.
busted lip? Because she
Yeah.
felt like when
People
she
are
said,
gonna
"Oh
think-
no, my mom's into judo," they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
blink once if you need help." Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yep, that was it.
Chewy's really into boxing. You should
Are
go to
you,
the
Chewy?
you should go to the gym with him
I
one
am.
day. But
Chewy looks like he could kick my butt.
No.
So.
Chewy had his first. He is 1-0 in amateur fighting.
Oh wow.
He did
Wow,
his one
Chewy.
fight,
Heavyweight.
and then We haven't gotten him back.
And then
in
gained
again.
all the weight.
And then gained all the way.
I was trying to do a Roberto Duran. Is what I was trying to do.
Is this COVID weight, Chewy? What
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It is. I love that you know boxing and UFC. I don't meet a ton of people that can go in depth in a boxing conversation, especially like now.
Well, I know old people boxing. I can't say that I could go in depth now, but I'm more the 1980s, 90s.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's a
So-
good documentary on HBO about the four: the Ray Leonard,
Oh, what is it?
Hagler, and who did Hagler? Hearns and Duran. And it's amazing. I think it's just called The Four. And it's an incredible documentary about that era.
Oh,
if
I
you
can't
like
wait to
era.
watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. Tyson versus Usyk. Predictions?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
All right.
All right. So real quickly, when people go and do you have any preference of narrative over documentary?
No, I mean, I watch a lot of narrative because we're, a writers thing.
festival.
But the truth is, there's so many great docs, that when they do it right, when the narrative is there, when they've got somebody who's a storyteller, it's a beautiful thing, So it's just, I think, naturally. And then, it's kind of poo-pooing for a while, a lot of the streaming, just because there's so much.
Yes.
And there's so much that's doesn't feel well developed.
Well, absolutely.
But then they drop shows like FX is my kind of go-to now because they drop shows like The Bear,
Right.
And
Which I'm not going as during at Halloween.
Bob and I are convinced.
I'm not Carmy in Halloween.
Every year, whatever the big thing is for Bob,
They were trying
is
to
who he
guess.
dresses
They
up,
think they guessed
and
it.
we are convinced that he's going to dress up as Carmy.
Well, you should be Carmy. You don't have as much anxiety as Carmy, though. But
What are
No.
you talking about?
I'm Mr. Anxiety. What are you talking?
But we have a kid. We have a kid on our staff who looks just like Carmy.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then Reservation Dogs is another one of my
So
favorites.
good.
on
Oh,
there.
that was a
good.
good one.
Oh my God, I could watch that show and then watch the same episodes again and again and again. They're
Yeah,
so good.
it is weird because there are a lot. They are so hungry for content that there are an immense amount of. And you said underdeveloped. I was just going to say stinkers out
Yeah.
there. And so sometimes you think, well, I'm done. I'm going to cancel my subscription. This particular it doesn't work for me anymore. And then you will find. I mean, The Bear has been insanely good in a way that when this season came out. And then the writer's strike I knew was happening and coming, and I knew it was going to be quite a while, or we would be done with The Bear, because sometimes something like a writer's strike can really create problems for you later down the road in the middle of a development. And I parsed it out. So even when it came out, I was like, I will not I won't watch more than one a week because I want this to last as long as possible, because the writing, the intensity,
That's what I
the
did too,
direction, it's so good.
Yeah.
In that
but
show.
you know what? I did that, and then I was planning. I had this whole plan. I'm going to wait till after the festival's over, and then I'm going to watch the rest of The Bear because it's going to be my kind of box of candy, right?
Right.
And the Bear people are coming. So,
Are they really?
Yes, they're coming.
What?
So
my God.
the creator, the writer, the showrunner, and some of the writers. And so now that was like, now I got to finish it. So it's like, because I got a lot of
Gonna
questions.
blow your
So,
mind.
but that's so intense because then you'll have some inside too,
Yeah.
because hopefully this crew wants to stay together. That
Yeah.
was my
Yeah.
worry, is that so often a crew will have a real piece of magic. You think about the last time there was a big strike, and what happened is people have to make a living, and sometimes it blows up, and there is a real thing that happens when there's a camaraderie amongst writers where you get that lightning in the bottle, and you can't just take 4 more people and say, well, here's what the plot is. Y'all rewrite this.
Yeah.
Y'all just keep it going. We've seen that happen with some shows that just kind of fell apart when they changed out writers. It didn't work. It
And
doesn't work.
for some reason, I don't know how they captured. I think you're right about the lightning in the bottle. It's all just sort of kismet moments where people are stuck together. But I grew up in restaurants.
Yeah.
And my dad had bars and nightclubs and restaurants, and it was like when I watched that show, I'm like, there's no way. And I'm watching the show. I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what
I know.
the kitchen is
Well,
like.
That episode about the tickets.
Yes.
I felt like I was exhausted after I watched it.
Totally, yeah.
I felt like I was in that restaurant. I don't know how they
Absolutely
did it.
anxiety inducing. And those
It
of
drew
us,
me in.
And if you've ever worked a shift, if you've ever worked in a kitchen, and the fact that people go into the walk-in to cry, and I'm like, that is so
Yeah.
Inside
accurate.
baseball, huh?
And that's
But they managed to do it in a way that I think everybody can feel it. Because Tickets, to me, is the festival. When I watch Tickets, somebody called
Right.
me and said, you got to watch Tickets, but but sit down quietly with a glass of wine and don't have anybody around you because you're going to feel like the festival.
Well,
Somebody used to work there, and it was like, oh my God.
There's another episode in the season. You probably haven't got there yet, but it's not about tickets, but it's just as frenetic and anxiety.
Oh, the Thanksgiving dinner?
Christmas
the
one.
Thanksgiving dinner?
episode.
Insane.
But tell me that's not your family at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Fonseca.
No,
Yeah.
There's a lot of head slapping and fights and all that. Can I ask you what time? How are we?
Well, wait.
A couple minutes.
Barbara,
1 minute.
You can,
1 minute.
yeah, and then but can you just hang out with us for a little bit?
Sure.
Do you have anywhere to go? You guys got
I
anywhere
got
to go?
nothing to do. No,
Yeah, I think you've got something
I'm
going
here
over at
I'm
one
here
of-
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, so just hang with us here in this last segment. But go ahead.
It's just a writing question because I've always heard this. Is narration a crutch?
I think a lot of people use it as a crutch because it's easy
Yeah.
to do.
Right, you don't have to film the stuff that
But-
they're saying.
right.
I think people feel like, well, if there's narration, it's kind of lazy because it's a movie. They should be showing you visually,
Right.
but
then
you think about
the-
Goodfellas.
Yeah, or
or
Goodfellas is an A+, but also Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, right.
You kind of can't. If somebody does it brilliantly,
Right.
you don't.
got to be careful with it.
Yeah.
Got to be careful with it. That was my writer's question.
Taxi Drive.
I liked it.
Taxi driver.
Yeah.
Oh,
mean-
yeah.
But those are all brilliant writers you're talking. Like,
Yeah.
these are people
Paul
who are,
Schrader.
Yeah, we've had all. I think we've
And-
had all.
Well,
of
there
them.
are some people who just use narration as I'm not going to let you interpret what this movie is. I'm going to tell
gonna
you
tell
what
you
I'm
what
going to
it
tell
is.
you
Oh,
what this
that's
movie
good.
is, and,
Yeah.
and when that happens, it really does you feel like you've lost a little something.
Yeah, it's the lazy man's thing for a lot of people. But then when somebody uses it and artfully, it's great.
You can say that barely about anything. It's the Austin Film Festival. You can check them out, austinfilmfestival.com. Can we still get badges and passes to go see all the movies and all that?
Yeah. You can go to austinfilmfestival.com or just walk up. Our registration is in the Omni Hotel, 3rd floor. Opens Wednesday at noon. You can just walk up, buy a badge, or you can go to the website and grab it.
The conference is happening, and then even after that, there's still movies that you can check out even after that first kind of hectic weekend. There's usually a
you wanna
full
see a-
week, a
yeah.
full slate of films that you can
want to see
go.
a film? Just walk up to the door, and we'll sell you a ticket right there.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to remind you about that too, so you don't have to write that
And
down
that's
because
Travis. By
that's
the way.
Travis. But I'm sorry because I realized just now.
We've
it's
been
like,
communicating for weeks
Yeah,
now.
I'm sorry about that. Just that Barbara's such an old friend, and it's always fun to see her that we forgot to introduce you, Travis. But we will stick around here with Travis and Barbara. We'll even bring Sawyer back into the room as we finish
He's
out
betting
our,
on some of these movies right now.
our Friday morning house party. Let's get into this. Let's do. You got time for a Clear Choice Roofing, my friend?
Yeah, I can do it. Clear choice.
The only choice.
Listen, you got to be careful with roofers, especially after a debacle like we had a few weeks ago with the hail and all that, because they all come in from other cities in unmarked trucks and try to get your money, and then they get their down payment, and not all of them, don't get me wrong, but then they leave. With Clear Choice Roofing, you're dealing with a company that's been in Austin doing roofing for a long time, and I've met them. I've had meetings with them, and I can tell you they're real people. So there's only one company you need to remember for roofing. It's Clear Choice Roofing. They'll even help you not only with redoing your roof, but also doing repairs. And a lot of roofing companies don't want to touch that because there's not enough margin or whatever. Hey, Clear Choice Roofing wants to serve you. They're Austinites, you're Austinites. Visit clearchoiceroofingatx.com for a free estimate. They're not going to try to upsell you or anything like that. Give you the straight story. Clear Choice Roofing. That's clearchoiceroofingatx.com. Call 512-712-4906. Good people.
Trucktober is here at Maxwell Ford. Drive the new 2023 F-150 Super Crew XLT with $14,000 off MSRP and 3.9% APR for 66 months. Or lease it for just $399 a month for 36 months with just $6,500 due at signing. Or drive the new all-electric 2023 Mustang Mach-E and get up to $10,000 off MSRP. Or buy it starting at just $43,982 plus 2 years of complimentary maintenance included. MaxwellFord.com.
We make it easy to buy at Maxwell Ford.
With approved credit, no security deposit. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/31/23.
Getting rid of a clogged drain is 123 easy. I call Abacus. Their drain technicians arrive when promised and get right to work. 123. They clear the drain, they conduct a video inspection, and they give me a 123-day clog-free guarantee. Abacus does it all for just $123.
Breakdowns or emergency service needs come without warning, so our tested, trained, and trusted techs are always standing by.
Call 512-888-2222 or visit us at abacusplumbing.com. License M20628.
At Sherwin-Williams, we deliver personalized service, business building tools, and cutting-edge solutions to help you manage and grow your business more easily. From product recommendations to project guidance, we ensure you have everything you need to get the job done. Plus, our exclusive Pro Plus pricing helps you stay on budget. Visit your local Sherwin-Williams store to get the products you love from the paint experts you trust. We save you time, plus we save you money.
O'Reilly.
Get ultimate durability and extreme weather performance with Rain-X Advantage wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase a pair of Rain-X Advantage wiper blades and save $10, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. We recently settled a wrongful death case in a commercial vehicle accident for $5 million. Net to clients was $2.8 million. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. What more? Call the Fours. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, Austin, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Kathleen Madigan.
I don't like to watch CNN because Sanjay Gupta, that doctor, comes on and he is a buzzkill.
Saturday, March 23rd at ACL Live. Tickets on sale now at acllive.com.
Hey, NEXTEVO.com. Next Evo, they're our clear choice when it comes to what we're looking for as far as CBD goes. Now, I know a lot of people out there can sometimes say, I don't know, I'm real skeptical. And guess what? I'm with you. I'm one of you. And,
not anymore, though.
Well, Next Evo changed my mind. They got a quality product. I think I like the fact that I can tell that it's made in an actual factory and not by somebody's grandmother.
Right.
That's a real pro right there. I like that it actually has a real label on it, and the label is labeled properly, and that it actually is accurate in what the dosage is going to be. All of those things. You know, I don't know, just regular business moves have really changed my mind.
I like that it's easy to get. You just order it online and they ship it out real fast to you. You got to go to nextevo.com/KLBJ. That's the portal into the wonderful world of Next Evo. I say go
/KLBJ too, because it's not just a portal, but it'll offer you 25% off.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
That's 25. That's a quarter of the normal off of the.
Are you
25%.
able to do this really incredible math because your mind is a little clearer?
It's a little clearer right now.
I really like it. I really like how it's happening.
Yeah. No, and there's sleep formulas, and there's all kinds of different formats that you can, whatever, you got to find what works for you and how you can use CBD to your advantage. Try it.
It's great. Nextevo.com/KLBJ.
This segment brought to you by TrainInfo.com. Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TrainInfo.com to find your local independent train dealer, TrainInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
I got bad news for you, Chewy. As little as 2 servings of red meat a week can cause type 2 diabetes.
It's the red meat.
Did you hear how that Barbara sounded very upset?
Well, she doesn't believe it. She's a healthy woman.
Come on, this is ridiculous.
She eats meat. How much meat do you eat a week?
I don't know, probably 2 servings. Probably 2 servings of red meat.
Okay,
I got my dad he used to raise cattle. I mean, he I think
Where are you from? Are you from Texas?
No, I'm from Philadelphia.
Wait, your dad raised cattle
He had a farm in Pennsylvania.
They make cream cheese.
My dad was kind of a
It's
wild
a rural
man.
state.
He did a lot of everything.
Who's raising cattle in Pennsylvania?
He was raising Kobe beef. He did Kobe beef.
God,
it was the greatest. So my dad used to make these hot dogs out of Kobe beef. Wow. They were so amazing.
Man,
he passed away this year,
no.
but it was like that was I used to keep tons of them in my freezer. They were so good. So good.
Yeah, that actually is depressing to hear that. Well, also for your loss, but I'm sorry that I can make your loss about my inability to have one of these hot dogs.
I may still have one in there. I don't know how old it is though. So
yeah. Well, hey, it doesn't matter how old. Look at the crap we eat in here. Yeah, but apparently, they're saying red meat. The American Journal of Boring Nutritionists are suggesting that substituting red meat with a plant-based protein source like beans can potentially reduce the risk. This seems kind of depressing. Now, here's the great thing about...
Every week there's something new that's going to cause your diabetes or heart disease.
And then they change. Then they go the other way.
Some people are just eating meat, and they're saying that's the way. Vegetarians will tell you just...
The carnivore diet.
Yeah.
Vegetarians will tell you what?
There's some vegetarians that say, like, their energy in life began when they started just eating vegetables.
That may be true. It is a truth I don't think they'll ever get to, though.
Well, I don't know how you can actually do a study to determine which singular thing is causing something.
Our findings strongly support dietary guidelines that recommend limiting the consumption of red meat, and this applies to both processed and unprocessed red meat, says author Jiao Gu, a postdoctoral research.
What? Is that the guy that trained Batman?
Is that what was in those hot dogs we had earlier?
Yeah, Jiao Gu was what we had in there. So I just thought I'd throw that out there as it's just yet another recommendation to stay away. Here's the great thing, though. I don't think that lips or assholes are considered red meat, so we can continue. Hot dogs are fine. Hot dogs are fine. We can continue to eat that and be fine. I'm very excited about this. We won't be affected.
Right, there's no actual meat in there.
No.
A lot of sawdust, too.
When a festival week is here and things are going nuts, Barbara, do you eat way worse? Do you eat at all even?
I usually forget to eat. But how come my dog is real healthy and he only eats meat? I don't know. Something's not right.
I wish I could forget to eat. I don't know how you do that. I guess you're a busy woman. A lot busier than I am.
You're running around.
It's all I think about.
When I get super busy, like in college, I would sometimes realize like it's been 3 days and I don't think I've eaten.
But you were broke too in college.
You were busy in college.
Wow. Partying. Partying.
Okay.
Did I? Whoa! I heard that. Okay. What are you? Have you been hanging out with my parents or something on the way up here? I guess what I would just mean is I was not studying. Is that if that's what if that's what you're feeling is that I was not a studier?
Maybe, yeah.
Now, why would you think that I wasn't a?
Who is really busy in college? Who's really busy?
I would get very busy going out with friends, and I would forget to eat sometimes. You always felt full and satiated, though, because there's calories in beer. So I did fine. Thank you, Sawyer, for understanding and coming to my defense. Sawyer feels bad because he said he went to a bar where we go frequently, and he walked up to the bar the other day, and the woman behind the bar said, "Where's your dad?" Oh. And she was,
I don't know.
And she
I haven't seen him. He said he's going to go get a pack of smokes, and
yeah, well, she thinks that I'm his dad.
And I played Cat Stevens for an hour and a half on the jukebox.
That hurts because it's so
Hey, tell me about the movie The Holdovers.
Oh my God, that's
I want to
so
see
good.
that. Alexander Payne is a huge name. Paul Giamatti, and it sounds like from the description. Tell me if I'm characterizing this right. Maybe kind of a modern day middle-aged take on The Breakfast Club almost?
Yeah.
He's not trapped.
Yeah.
He's a professor that decides to hang on campus while everybody else is on vacation?
Yeah, well, he's sort of forced to hang on campus.
With a bunch of students.
Students who can't get home at a boarding school. And, it was...
Is it dramedy?
It's dramedy, and it was surprisingly great. Not surprising because of Alexander Payne, but just it's sort of like, we've seen school movies and
right.
But this is really one of those movies that kind of touches you at the same time you're laughing, and
I gotta go see that.
And
one.
it just they captured the youth part of it really well. But Paul Giamatti's amazing.
Always is. Does he ever not?
No.
Not. Even his commercials for T-Mobile had me crying.
Have there been changes?
I was tearing up
in the kind of movies you're seeing since COVID. I feel like COVID and people weren't going to the movies for a bit. The whole industry has a little bit of a tilt, are you seeing a difference in the movies that are coming into you and being submitted to you?
Yeah, I think this year I'd have to say the movies that we're seeing are finally post-COVID enough that, because for a little while there it was like, oh my God, I can't see another movie like this again. That's important. So we saw a lot of that.
This is
year
why I love you. Is that
You should be raw, like all the 24/7.
No, but I think Barbara, and now I'm going to talk to you talk about her like she's not here, but she talks about stuff real that this is what we've talked about before, and I understand that all that serves a purpose, and I have friends who are very academic and are too precious. But I think sometimes we forget that movies can also be entertainment. And I get bothered sometimes by when people forget that movies or music or any art can also just be entertainment. It does not have to be your personal opus to change.
Right. Well, so the question is it art or is it entertainment? And I think it falls a little bit in both.
But are you saying that if something's entertaining, it's no longer art?
Well, no, what I'm saying is when you have to sell a ticket to make the thing continue to exist,
right,
it ceases being about
art for art's sake.
Yeah.
And then becomes somewhat, what is it that draws people? And then when you find people who do both, it's amazing, right? And there's a lot of people. Alexander Payne's one of those people, that he does both. It's an entertaining movie. It's also so beautifully written that it's, it's like that guy's an artist.
So you don't like Furious 7 or 8?
No, Fast 5 is mine.
That was the apex.
That was the apex. A long time.
Yeah. And you can make I'm all for making stuff that crashes, blows up. Franchises, some of them are great. I mean, I just was watching Aliens because we're going to do Aliens, and so then I went back and watched Alien, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to compare these two. What made one better than the other? And they're so different. They're so different, right? But so you can have great franchises. That's like the whole thing where something is you can't claim the entertainment value makes it degrades it.
Top of the head, under pressure, best franchise.
Oh man! Why would you do that to me?
That's a good question.
This is going to get people leaning in. Well, while she's thinking,
Rocky's definitely up there.
Okay,
come on,
I love Rocky too, but the Christopher Nolan Batman's. For some reason.
I'm gonna argue with you.
You don't like Nolan? You don't like Nolan? You don't like Christopher Nolan, or?
I didn't say I didn't like Nolan. Were you putting words in my mouth?
I'm wondering why. I'm trying to suggest.
Are 3 pictures a franchise though?
Batman is, Travis pointed out the other day, maybe the best Batman was the original Batman with Mr. Michael Keaton.
I will say that is one of my...
Jack Nicholson was the Joker, right?
I mean, because that was after The Shining. I know why they cast him.
Yeah. That was what a treat for me is you introduced me to Keaton at one of the festivals.
Oh, yeah.
And he came, and he was a blast. And then also,
I love
he started as a stand-up. So we talked about stand-up for an hour, BSing about stuff, and it was a blast because no one ever talks about Keaton's stand-up.
Johnny Dangerous.
Just kind of,
and you think about him as those 80s, Mr. Mom, and those movies that really made his career.
Night Shift.
Night Shift.
Night Shift.
Oh, my favorite line written ever for a motion picture in that movie. Barney Rubble, what an actor. I don't think there was a more perfect line ever written in a movie. Dude's just looking at a little tiny TV screen in the middle of the night. He goes, guy walks in the room and he looks at it, he goes, that Barney Rubble, what an actor.
Well, remember his whole tuna thing in that movie. It was like that. He was brilliant. And then really imagining him as Batman, I thought that was pretty damn brilliant. Oh, sorry, darn.
No, that's all right.
It's all right.
I said asshole earlier.
You're fine.
Here's the thing. When you've collected this many horrendous people to be your listener group, you can get away with stuff you're not supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
We have the worst listeners. They're real dirt people. And they're great people.
Franchises. John Wick.
Oh, John Wick.
Come on.
Oh, come on. John
Is it not a little heartless after the third one? There's not a lot of heart in
John
it?
Wick 1's good.
Hey,
the
I
rest
love
of them are,
Keanu.
No, John Wick. Wait, which is? I always mix up the 2 or the 3. 2 is the bad one. 3 is the good one, right? It's like 1 and 3 are good.
It
And,
just kind of.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like, how long can we make this and have him just
As long
murder
as-
more people?
Well, but Keanu Reeves
If
is
that's-
pretty awesome. But the
yeah,
last
absolutely.
one, the you know, when
nunchucks?
the,
It didn't need to be
going
3
down-
hours long.
Well, you didn't need to go down the stairs a whole nother time.
I know. I gotta get home. I hired a
But that's
sitter.
what
I gotta,
happens
I mean,
with the
is a good metaphor.
franchises.
we wrap
Good
this
metaphor
up.
for life.
Right, yeah.
And you want that franchise bag, too.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much money.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how you all are going to respond to this because you may highly disagree with me. But I think it's because I was so surprised by the first one because I did not see Matt Damon as an action star. But the Bourne movies,
Never
I
seen
thoroughly.
one.
Oh,
Good, huh?
I love seeing
They're
that
good.
face. Somebody does not agree with me on the Bournes.
Yeah.
I actually haven't watched
The
them all. I
Doug
watched
Liman.
the
The first one, I love the Doug
Yeah,
Liman
that one's
film.
really
That's
good.
Really, I
Clive
love
Owen in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Moby song at the end.
Yeah.
I think of them more like boring.
That's how I think. I'll get a ton of hate for this, but that's what I think of James Bond. Kind of bores me a
Depends on
little
which
bit.
Bond, though, right? Like,
I mean,
agree.
I suppose.
I mean, sure, you're not old enough to have seen
It didn't
all
impact me,
800
yeah.
Bond movies.
And it didn't impact me at the time.
Have you seen them all?
I don't have. My dad
Really?
raised me on it.
On
yeah,
James Bond?
yeah. We had
Good
the
dad.
VHSs like
Oh.
before
No, nice.
DVD
Nice
box
job, Matt.
sets.
Oh,
I
thank you.
know.
I did a great
Daddy.
job with it, didn't I?
It was good watching
Good job.
Thunderball with you at 7.
It really was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Call me a sucker for a weird franchise, but Hometown Hero, I love all the like before sunrise, after sunset, all those Ethan Hawke movies.
Do you?
Yeah,
I've never seen any of them.
they're good. They're
Yeah.
cute. And
I
it's
see
a
them listed
beautiful love
sometimes
story.
is great, especially someone recently wrote up an article about best movies that happen kind of in one quick time period, you know, like overnight or, you know, the 3 hours leading up to whatever. And those were listed there, but I've never seen them.
They took like over 10 years to make all 3 too.
Yeah.
And so like, I mean, it's a wonderful story about love. I'll make you cry.
Something you'll never feel from me, your
So
dad.
That's true.
It makes sense that a gambler would love romantic stories.
Of course it does,
absolutely.
doesn't it? Of course it does.
We love rooting for an underdog.
Or the impossible.
Where are you on the Planet of the Apes franchise? Because that's one of the first.
Well, so the new Planet of the Apes, the ones that have the apes that look more like
More
people.
CGI.
Yeah, I
More-
like those a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not a big fan of the
The middle Planet of the Apes.
dirty
Roddy.
apes.
Oh no, that was I mean, when you're a kid, you know.
Yeah, I loved him as a kid.
Those
loved
were
him as
pretty
a
great.
kid.
And Godzilla, the new Godzillas, I like those.
I
that
Oh,
monster
Godzilla.
universe with like King Kong. and
It's
all
just
that. Very
destruction
good.
porn is pretty much
yeah,
all it
well,
is.
I mean, I just, we have the guy who wrote, redid that franchise coming, and so I was watching those last night, and it's not hard not to like kind of fall in love with Godzilla, and he kind of looks like my dog a little bit too. So
But
it's
I
sort of,
also, yeah, I think Godzilla is a story that you're supposed to feel he's a lonely guy.
he's a lonely guy, and he wants to help us.
He does.
Yeah.
He's just misunderstood.
He's misunderstood.
You know what I mean?
Like
He's-
Rocky.
like
So
Rocky.
Back to Rocky.
That's
yeah.
Can someone explain the Spider-Man franchise? Because I get
No.
to
Which
argue
one?
with my
No.
kids. I
No.
go, hey, I'll go, Spider-Man's Marvel. He goes, no, Spider-Man is Sony.
It's
He's Sony.
He's Sony.
This is the kind of arguments I have with my kids. It's not about drugs or alcohol. It's like whether Spider-Man is Sony. I know it started out as Sony, but it's Marvel now.
Yeah.
But it's going to go back to Sony
franchise
when
rights.
so-and-so takes over the franchise and blah, blah. And I'm like, how do you know
Yeah.
this stuff?
Now,
So
so
how do you know
you're,
this inside stuff?
since you're here, what are our best? With once again, just sort of off the cuff here, what are some of the best gambling movies?
Oh, come on.
Come
This
on,
is easy.
man.
Color of Money, number 1. Like it way more than The Hustler.
Rounders. No?
Rounders is fantastic
Yeah.
with Matt Damon. I really like
there
the
anyone-
original Gambler with
Jimmy Caan.
Yeah, James
Uh-huh.
Caan. The Mark Wahlberg one, not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
What's a good horse one?
What's the name of the one that it's like Mary's Game or something like that?
Molly's
Or-
Game.
Molly's Game. That's what
Yeah,
that one was
Skinner
good.
Poker.
Well,
what?
Luck was a good one though, but that wasn't really a game. That was just a horse show.
Now, there was a movie.
21 was good, and it foreshadowed the fact that Kevin Spacey likes to take advantage of young men.
That's true. Wow.
We're going there. Huh?
He was very bold.
We're trying to get him back. I mean,
There we go. Sawyer
trying to
tries
make
to
a
get us
comeback.
canceled every single week. He usually goes after one of our
Clients.
huge sponsors or something like that.
Is Kevin Spacey a huge sponsor?
No.
Just checking.
No,
Just-
no, he's not anymore. Not anymore. I loved Hard 8, which
Hard
is
8's really good.
Oh, Hard 8's great.
early
Yeah,
Paul
yeah.
Thomas Anderson. Isn't
Yeah,
that
baby
who
John
did that?
C. Reilly.
Yeah, that was,
And-
that was his first film.
I think so. And that movie is incredible. And then I forget the name of the movie, and I forget the name of the actor. I'm not like a lot of you guys who are good about remembering those things. And so I'm going to put on my truck sound, and I'm going to back up while I look up this movie.
Oh, come on. Give us a hint about what it's about. Let's see if
It
we can
was
figure
released
out.
by Netflix, and it's one of the gentlemen who's in a lot of those kind of talking, what do they call them?
Pictures.
Yeah, they're called movies.
Mumblecore movies.
Oh, Mumblecore.
And he was in he was in a couple of them, Drinking Buddies. I think he was in the movie Drinking Buddies.
Oh, dude, great gambling movie, Uncut Gems.
Yeah, I was thinking about
I never
that one.
saw that one
That
either.
one's
His
fantastic.
Casino's not a gambling movie,
Man.
technically, is it?
There's a
kind of
movie I
about
really
it.
like it's with James Woods, and it's a boxing movie. What is it called? I can't remember.
I'm a Republican now.
No, it's like 90 something. I'm trying to find it. I'll find it because I don't know why I watched it. It was just on TV, and I loved it. I was captivated. I'll find it. It might have been like a made-for-TV movie. I'm pretty sure Philip Seymour Hoffman was in it or something.
This segment of Dead Air is brought to you by Dr. Hot Dog and his Underdog
And Kevin
Picks.
Spacey.
If you or a loved one has a gambling addiction, hit my line. I can get you a $100 free play.
But apparently on ESPN it says actor turned poker player James Woods tells all. So
What?
maybe this was something. Was it a what? Did you figure it out? I don't
not-
know that movie.
I know. It's not even showing up in his IMDb.
Huh? The game.
Diggstown. Diggstown is the name of it.
Oh.
It's so corny and campy,
Huh?
but I loved it. I can't explain why. Check it out. James Woods. Put him on the map.
Did you figure it out, man?
I think so. Win It All.
Oh, win it all.
With
Don't know that one.
Is the actor named Jake Johnson?
Oh, I know Jake Johnson off of.
Let's see if I see the pic. Oh yeah, so that's it. It's called Win It All, and it's a guy who's
Oh,
really
Keegan-Michael Key?
He's really screwed up his life, and he's trying to fix it. He's a gambling addict, and he's trying to fix it in one night. And it's just one of those movies where the heightening continues to heighten, and you're like, I gotta get out of this
It's on
movie. It's too stressful. I gotta get out.
Netflix?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it was made for Netflix and released only on Netflix. I don't know that a lot of people saw it. I don't know. I loved it. Swanberg wrote it, and I really enjoyed it because it just is one of those things where you get anxious and you're like, this guy's an idiot. He starts to make you angry as a character, as a protagonist. You start to become furious with
cringy.
the decisions that he's making, and you're like, why are you ruining your life? And then vis-a-vis, why are you ruining my life while I watch you?
See, I can't watch stuff like that.
No.
I
It's
couldn't
hard,
do
right?
Breaking Bad at all because it's
No.
like, how could you? Have you not
it's
learned
so
your
good.
lesson?
Same way.
Have you
I'm same
not?
way.
I
Same
can't
way.
do it.
There's no good
Just,
character.
You and
no
Bob need to
redeeming
get
character.
together and watch Breaking
You
Bad.
got to have somebody to root for. There's nobody to root
Yeah.
for. in
You're rooting
Breaking
for
Bad.
everybody.
Well, but after a while, when you make so many stupid choices, it's like, no, that's what the whole concept was about. You know, you're supposed to die out. You know,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
We got to get you on the drug game so you understand.
we've had fun chatting with the whole crew this Friday morning. Thank you, Sawyer Stull, for coming in here with your picks. We really
Hey, thank
appreciate it. We'll have next weekend. You know what? Maybe next Friday we'll have you do your picks for the Austin Film Fest. It'll be in full swing. Film Fest officially kicks off the 26th. Did I get that right in my head?
Yep.
And you can walk up and grab tickets. You can get a badge. You can go to the conference. We will be there, Bob and I, and we'll be walking around.
I'm going to see more movies. I'm committed to see these
Yeah.
movies.
I'll go with you.
I want to see
Yeah, you
these.
guys got to all come out.
We will.
Yeah.
We will. And people always say, well, what's something that's Austin? I want people to move here and they go, what's something that's real authentic Austin? And I'm telling you right now, there's 30 years of history right there at the Austin Film Festival. They've been doing a great, since the very beginning. It's grown into the little festival it could, because it started out shoestring and bootstraps and has really become a, as Bob likes to say, juggernaut.
Look at that. It's priced reasonable. That's like a fraction of the
I know.
price of one concert.
I know. It's a
Yeah.
great thing to do. And
Right?
Yep, it's true.
stick around for the next 60 seconds and let me talk about...